My name is Isabelle, and I am in the International Film Production class. I chose Stockholms Filmskola really for two reasons. The first is that I wanted to work in film, and the second is that I wanted to be in Sweden. So when I combined those two things together, it was really the perfect place to be. I chose Sweden because I had actually studied abroad here 2 years ago, and I lived here for 7 months and had a fantastic experience, and I knew that I wanted to come back. I'm from Boston in the US, and I think there's a lot of similarities between Boston and Sweden in terms of sensibility and the nature and urban integration, and I also have some heritage in Sweden a few generations back, so I was interested in kind of following that path and learning more about that. Settling in was incredibly smooth, really. I think it helps that I had already lived here and kind of gotten used to the culture here in some sense. But I found housing through my old study abroad program, and people were very welcoming here at school and very supportive of especially Karin helping with any like logistical residence permit things. So it was a very smooth process to come here. My biggest surprise here at school is how much I enjoyed cinematography. I think I came in thinking I was really interested in story, specifically as in writing and directing, and I am still, but I've always been interested in art and contemporary art, and I think the opportunity to combine art and aesthetics and film all together has been really exciting and interesting for me. Yes, right now I'm most interested in cinematography. I mean, I could see myself going into any role, and I think one of the best parts about being in school here is that you're invited to and encouraged to try out different roles as you're in the early phases of school here. So, you know, you do everything from sound to gaffing to directing, and people are really good at encouraging you to do an arrangement of different things and not get stuck in one thing too early. Yeah, I think the social aspect is like one of the best parts of it, really. I mean, filmmaking is a unique experience in that you're spending so much time with the people around you in a fairly emotional and vulnerable way, where you're spending hours on hours together and making art together, and at the same time you have to be very professional and fast-paced and efficient. So it's this really interesting like medley of like friendship but also professionalism that I think is a cool way to connect to people. Yeah, in 5 years I have no idea in a way, which is kind of exciting, but also I think it's very plausible and would be exciting to be here in Sweden still working in the film industry. I could definitely see myself doing that. Maybe starting with some like lower level camera jobs and then working my way up in time, maybe being back in the US and coming back to Sweden occasionally to work on film projects here. But at this point I'm leaning towards integrating more into Sweden and the culture here, so I would hope to be here in 5 years in some capacity. Yeah, I think one of the challenges of being in film school here or in any film school really is that it's very consuming with your personal life in a way that can also be a big benefit. Like, it's so fun to spend your days going around Stockholm location scouting and meeting people and doing castings, but at the same time you have to be ready and committed to spend a lot of time doing that. So that's definitely been a challenge, and then it's also just taxing to make films. You're on set for a lot of day, and it's also fun, so yeah. I think one of the best things about Stockholms Filmskola in particular is that there's a huge amount of trust given to students and a huge amount of independence given to students. So I think for anyone considering coming here, that's a good question to ask oneself, is how much do you want structure and direction from your teachers versus how much are you able to implement your own ideas and implement your own schedule. And for me, like, I am a more independent learner, and I've really enjoyed the freedom and space to do what I want when I want, in a sense. But I think that's one of the best things about school here, is you have a lot of independence. I would absolutely recommend it. I would recommend it for people who are independent learners, people who are excited about Sweden in particular, people who are open to trying different things, people who are eager to commit a lot of their time to filmmaking. Yeah, the teachers are great. It's a very, I feel like a peer-to-peer relationship with teachers, which is excellent for learning, where it's not talking to a teacher in a lecture hall, but really working with them one-on-one, and they talk to you about your ideas and your storyboards and your actors, and often will come to set to see how things are going. But I feel like teachers are incredibly supportive and helpful and knowledgeable in their field and successful in their field. The most unexpected thing I've learned about filmmaking is that it's physically demanding, and it's like a lot of carrying gear around the city. I feel like a lot of filmmaking is doing that, and it's fun. You know, you get onto the public transport with all of your flags and gaffing equipment, and then you go to your location, and then you walk there for 20 minutes. Yeah, it's cool.